What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? This podcast event is going to be in remembrance of what would have been the 90th birthday of James Brown. And it is hard to believe it's been 15 years since the Godfather of Soul passed. But I didn't want to go without talking about him. This man's music meant so much. And I'm going to rewind the clock 30 years ago. Because I can tell you back in 1991, when I was buying CDs, and I ain't ashamed to admit it, and cassettes and stuff, I had a ton of them. But one of the first box sets that I bought when I moved and got in different surroundings is I bought James Brown's Star Time. And Alan Leeds, who used to be his tour manager, who later worked with Prince, who was working with Prince in Paisley Park at the time, and he worked with James Brown, was in on them liner notes, I think with Nelson George, I remember. Anyway, recounting all the stories about Lick and Stick and Brother Rap and It's My Thing and all those songs. And, it's one of those things that when you reminisce about how this man changed the course of music, the 4/4 sound, the funk, the grooves, the musicians he had with him, his style, the famous Flames, the whole nine, the late great Chadwick Boseman portrayed him, and Mick Jagger produced the film and Get On Up and that whole thing, and you just remember that, but you also remember, his books and, his showmanship and the whole nine. But when you hear the music, but also what he stood for, to say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, what he meant, how he was in Boston the night Dr. King was killed and how he kept the peace on stage, what this man meant, what he said, his words, his power of his talent. He was the voice and the soundtrack for so many. You felt his pain, you felt his blues, you felt his sway, you felt his rap. This guy, from head to toe, is one of the 5 most important artists as far as influencing from head to toe. And when I say from head to toe, I literally mean from his pompadour to his shoes to his capes. The guy had that kind of it. And that was a showman. And you knew it. Band leader. The guy created hip-hop. Literally, he's one of the founding fathers of hip-hop. Because between him and Gil Scott-Heron, and I can probably throw a couple other people in there, probably Cab Calloway, had a hand in hip-hop the way you know it. With the syncopation of the beat, the rhythms, the horns, the grooves, But he meant so much more of just the soul, what he represented. You could just feel him. You could relate to James Brown. And it's a happy, heavenly 9th birthday to the Godfather. So the hardest working man in show business, the guy that was inspirational to so many artists. So many. When you can cross generational lines in different genres and styles of music, you done the thing. You have done the thing. And he definitely did the thing. One of a kind and a strong, humble beginnings. Understood hardship, understood being black, going through all these pains and being real with it, not afraid of who he was with it, And that says something about his character, but also says something about how his impact and what he's done will live on forever. Because he was truly one of the greatest artists ever and a great humanitarian, a guy who truly gave back, and you could always feel the rawness with him. He gave you the soul. Some artists, they get labeled pop, they get labeled soft or something. When you say James Brown, you talking about R&B, you talking about soul. That was the ultimate compliment you could give somebody back in the day. As far as I'm concerned, the ultimate compliment you can give somebody now. Because if you attach their name with soul, that means they had feeling. And that was a God-given talent. Please feel free to share your thoughts and takes about James Brown. How do you remember him? I welcome thoughts and comments. Please hit the like to subscribe, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. And it's always important to give flowers to those who touched on so many lives. And this man truly was a groundbreaking artist, and he'll never be forgotten. Good God. Rest in peace. Always remember James Brown. One time.